Welcome to UK Theme Parks. My name's Adam and today we are in Horndean for Burnett's Fun Fair. Burnett's Fun Fair, it's the first fun fair of 2021 for Burnett, so we thought we'd come down. However, we've come down on last day. We've come down for final rides and we've come down to give you something a little bit special as well. But first, let's show you what's at the fair. Where you guys live?
Yep.
Live in Horndean, not too far away, a couple of miles away from Portsmouth. That's probably the closest fair actually. Apart from Southsea Common when that's on, this is probably the closest fair we get. This and then Clanfield just down the road where they go. And this is Burnett's. Burnett's weren't out in 2020, so it's great to see them back out in 2021. And they bought their stable rides, which are the Earth Shaker ski jump, the cage right here, and of course the grass cutter twister over there. Dodge rooms over the back. We will take you through the fair shortly. It's quite loud on the fair. And a host of juvenile rides. Really good to see them back out. Really good to see them back out. So of course we come up here to sport. We've come up here to spend some money and get on some rides. And you know, these are classic, wonderful machines. You don't see too many ski jumps on the circuit anymore. You certainly don't see too many grass cutter twisters. So they are really unique. Burnett's we've seen in many places in the past, including Petersfield, right down in Selzy as well. We used to have the Rock City Miami, which is currently in Ipswich. It's currently in Ipswich, miles away. Staggering really where some of these rides end up over the country, but it's still a lovely ride up for the local people, and this is a very local fair. Very local fair, quite specialist in its location, and it's great to see them coming out to support the locals. First things first, we're going to take you on the cage. I love the cage. I love the cage. Get on the cage. think of the cage?
Good.
Yeah, love the cage.
Yeah, very long
love the
cycle.
cage. Yeah, great
Over
cycle.
4 minutes.
Over 4 minutes. Great cycle on the cage. Here's Dodgems over here. What's not to like about the Dodgems? And then of course a host of juvenile rides, little teacups, little merry-go-round here. The swings are coming down already as well. It's the last day of the fair. Bouncy castles down the back. You've got a Tricket's little like rocket ride over there, and of course the earth shaker. So you're going to do the earth shaker today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right. Let's get on the earth shaker. How was it, Cod?
Decent.
How's the earth shaker ski jump? When's the last time you went on a ski jump? No, I don't know either. You? Yeah, I think that was probably, might have been the last one I went on, that one. So Twister, look, I mean, you never get to see this very often, to be fair. It's all chains and pulleys, so the chains come up and it effectively lifts up one set of the seat, which they then scroll around and sits on top of the other seats. It's like your Lego one, Kurt. It works exactly the same way as your Lego one does. So as you can see here, the chains, you can probably just see lifted up and it sits above. Put an extra piece in to hold it in place. Obviously it comes from the middle, is where they do it. And then this is just going to fold. So although we missed the twister, which is a bit sad,
yeah,
a little bit sad. How often do you see this?
not very.
How often do you see this? And then of course the bits that come out the middle just sit on the side so they don't get lost. So this will then fold together. For those that don't know, these front seats on here, they tilt down for a footrest, and then they can just fold up at any point and it will just go flat. But it's taken them, what, 6 minutes to do this so far?
Yeah.
6-7 minutes to literally from start to undo a couple of bolts, lift the chains up, put the chains on, lift the arms up either side so they can rest on top. Quite quick. I know that most of these can get done in a couple of hours, but yeah, fascinating to see. See if we can get it folded up. Of course, the classic Dodgems, look. So the way these come apart, you can see the truck's been brought to the side, the cars literally sit across there. Everything else goes in there, the outer bits will come off first so the cars can wheel off. Floor will come up, poles will come up. In they go, Kurt. Yeah. In they go. I haven't started packing up the cage or the ski jump yet, but they have started packing up some of the juvenile rides over the back. Pads Castles, they're all down. And it just folds. Look at that. You know how much we like closed season, Kurt. It's just like a closed season, isn't it? It's like a closed season. It is literally like the Lego one. However silly it sounds, but if you've never seen one of these happen before, I know exactly how they happen. I can't say I've seen it in a long time. I have seen it before. But yeah, double fold, in it goes, and majority of the rides kind of stays together for the journey. Yeah, that just sits on the trailer. Absolutely love it. I would have think they'll be attached together. And you can see it's all connected around here. Just folds flat, Kurt. Just folds flat.
Just the yellow one to go around.
I don't want to say that's not heavy because it looks incredibly heavy.
It looks very heavy.
It's very heavy. That's just... And this is where you have to have great respect for these guys and the work they do. But just look how tight that gets. You know, if you see this lorry go down the motorway, you wouldn't think there's potentially a twister on the back of it. And the chain there will then clip onto there. Click onto the arm that's come over. Wrench on to keep them tight. Fascinating. Genuinely fascinating. I love it. I love it. As you see, the Dodgems getting prepared. Huge respect to these guys. As you just said, should have it down hopefully in a couple of hours, but they've got to climb on top. They have to unpin. Someone has to unbolt while they hold the poles. And he's just said if we hang around a little bit, we can sit and watch. So we'll sit and watch. But as you can see, you know, even the smaller rides just unhooked off the top. They'll be folded up. Little train track, look. Fold up ready, they're all unbolted and all done. All done. I don't think they're starting work on these ones quite yet, I wouldn't think. They might be. I think we might be the only people left. We might be the only people left.
Literally.
Yeah. Music's gone off now as well. But yeah, they've got to be, he's just said they've got to be gone by tomorrow, which is kind of expectant. and they are out on the road all year, which is great. Absolutely great. Really, really pleased that they're going to be out on the road all year. But how often do you see a tear down of these things? As you said, they're classic rides. You know, these grass cutters, there aren't many around anymore. Not many at all. You know, some retro Dodgems. As we said, you know, respect to these guys, they've got to climb up and do it. You know, the modern day ones are hydraulic. This one's not hydraulic. He's literally got to climb up there and unpin all of that. Fancy a job?
No.
No. I knew you wouldn't. We've parked up aside the Dodgems to have a closer look in obviously high speed and a time lapse, just the effort that goes in to getting you know, the most simple components out on what looks quite easy. So as you can see here, we've done this to show you how they get the cars off. Now the first car was already loaded on there, the tail lift goes up, they've got a little mini set of wheels which they then push the car right to the back, and as you can see they've got a duck along the way whilst they do that. One of the plates then comes up, with the plate coming up to connect it to the tail lift, which you can see they've put in place, and then there is a metal ramp which attaches to the front of that, so there goes that into place. You'll then see the metal ramp go on, and it's a big run up to get the next car on. The next car goes up, the wheels go underneath it, they shuffle it under and take it right down the back of the truck. And you've got to do this for all the cars which they have, which is quite a long time. You can see on the cars, the first thing they do is remove the electric connectors before they, you know, load them onto the truck. But it was great to see, really was great to see them do this. So we're told to come have a look in the Dodgems here. So basically all the poles and all the fencing, everything that comes off goes in this one. Everything goes in. You can see the skirting wood. There's a couple just here, you can just see them down there as well, all go in here. And then the cars go on here. Now the cars are literally wheeled onto the tail lift goes up and all the cars are manually put on. So yeah, hard work. I don't envy them. I don't envy them at all. Hard work. It fits like a jigsaw. It fits like a jigsaw. So you can see there the work that goes into those dodgems, those bumper cars there. It's just fascinating. They lift one of the floor panels, they pop it on, and then they have to push all the cars up the ramp, which they've done. And you can see also that, you know, everything's being packed away now. So the little rides are being they're folded up in the middle. They go, all the canopies are coming off here. You can see the massive transformation here on the Twister. It's just lifted, air lifted, hydraulic lifted off the ground, and the wheels go on. And of course, ski jump down there. I think the cage is the last thing to come down. But yeah, great to see, really fascinating to see. You know what as well, Kurt? It does, even the barriers and things all go on like the Lego one.
You literally. And it's only been like another 10 minutes.
Just slightly heavier. Yeah, but we've only been here sort of 15 minutes, 20 minutes altogether. And this is the this is it.
It's fully up when we
I love it. Yeah, it's fully up when we've got. I love it. Absolutely love it. Apologise for the wind, although it looks a lovely day. It's a little bit windy here on the hill. But we got on two amazing rides. We got on the Earth Shaker, which is the ski jump there, which you can see being taken down in the background. And of course we got on the cage. And as you said, Kurt's holding the camera, one of the best cages you've been on.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a beautiful example, really is a beautiful example. But it's just, I love seeing this. And I know I've said to a few of the guys here while we've been here, obviously we've been talking to them, that we love seeing it. We know they don't necessarily like doing it. The dodgems is going to take quite a long time to put down, and we'll go back over there and take some shots of that in a minute. And obviously these all come off individually, they stack up on there before the arms and everything come down. The Twister, I think, is one of the easier ones to sort of fold up, even for its age as well. When you think that the grass cutters haven't been around a long time, that is a real classic ride. It still folds together quite nicely without, I don't want to say too much effort because it looks a lot of effort, but without too much hassle, it's probably the best word to say. But we've had a great time here at Burnett's Fair, and it's great to see them back out on the road, and we will definitely come across them again as well this season. But for now, just enjoy. We'll summarise at the end, but just enjoy the pull down of this fair. The cage is also starting to come down now, so you can see two people underneath. I'm bolting it from underneath because this will fold very similar to what the Twister does. And you can see the person running around the top, and he's taking the bolts out the tops here. So these here will come out again so it can fold in. It looks hard work, Kurt. I won't lie to you, it does look hard work. But it's just so fascinating to see. Really is fascinating to see. Now it's worth noting, as this comes down this ski jump, you can see the how well it's been maintained. It's been completely done. Lovely red, lovely vibrant red. It's in great condition. It's in great condition, isn't it? As they load the cars onto there. I would guess all the arms come out individually on this one, but we'll see. We will hopefully see. Now the effort involved in getting the ski jump off does seem to be much more than some of the other attractions. Certainly the cage and the twister, which fold up quite nicely, the dodgems and the ski jump have definitely got a little bit more manual work going to it. So as you'll see in this time lapse here, the first things first, they literally pull the ride round and take all bar one car off. Now the car they leave on is also the arm which holds the fences for the ride and kind of the posts and everything. That's one that folds directly into the truck. All the other cars come off, all other 9 cars come off, and they load on to the truck, which you can see there. So this actually isn't loaded onto a big lorry. This is just, you know, again, much like we said with the twister, if you see this little car going down the road, you wouldn't think it's got cars for a ski jump on. Now they're loaded 3 at the top, 3 in the middle, and 3 at the bottom, and you can see they use a hydraulic lift to lift them up. They're quite heavy. It's not something they can kind of do manually, and they load them on facing forwards. And it's one by one. They push the ride, you know, the ride's electronic, it's pushed round one at a time, off they hook. But as you can see, it doesn't take too much to get them off. When you get close up, and we will get a bit close up as well shortly, you'll see the bolts and the pins which sort of hold it together. And again, it's just amazing to see it in action. Now what you'll see once all these are off is at the top of the ride by the booth, they will start to set up the crane. So once these are off, they have to take the arms off manually as well. And the arms are obviously really heavy, as you can probably imagine. So you'll see there the crane come up from the right, that's stored underneath the ride. All the mechanisms and everything will be connected to this, and this will then be used to lift the arms off the track. The arms are connected by pins, the pins at the top, which allow them also to kind of, you know, bob up and down with the ride as it goes over the jump part. These will lift the tyres over the top of the ride, so they're able to move it down into the base underneath, effectively underneath where the booth is for storage on the lorry. And it's quite a mission to do this as well. You can see them lining up now with the first one, and we will get shots from the other side because obviously you can see where they've lifted up for storage purposes. So it's all kind of flattened out while the ride's open, then it lifts up and they put them in. But you can just see even from here the effort of setting up the lift to do this before they've even thought about getting anything else off. The ride will then be rotated much like it was to get the cars off in order to get the bars off as well. Obviously as the bars come off, the ride's able to go around and it won't hit the floor, however stupid that sounds. It's quite important to sort of recognise that. We will get a closer shot from the other side very, very shortly, and you'll see how this process works. This was filmed sort of over a 15-20 minute period. It's again the effort that goes into this one particularly to get all the cars off and then get all the arms off, all bar one. So that's 9 they've got to get off. It's quite something. It's quite something. It's quite a manual job. It's quite a lot to do. You know, I don't envy them doing it. I love watching it, but I can imagine doing this week in, week out would be a bit of a pain. But it looks great. Up come the centre parts, which are the handrails which you hold on to when you're stumbling off the ride. Not saying you stumble off the ride, but usually after a spin on that you kind of stumble off the ride. See now as it rotates, they lift the plates up when it goes around to the front area. So you can see now these are the plates they've done. These are the ones you're treading on while you go. So effectively the handrail folds into the plates and then the plates fold up against the side of the cage. Just while they're doing that as well, you'll notice the ski jump. So I would guess they leave that one car on. That one car is probably the one that stays on the truck, which is why the fence has been held to that one. Safe taking them all off. Safe taking them all off, Kurt. So while we're over here, Dodgems continues to come to go down. 2 cars left, just 2 cars left. End roof bars are off, and I think someone's got to climb up there to get those ones off, Kurt. And there's a twister on the back of its truck, and that thing is ready to roll. Ready to roll. So effectively, the arms fold in on the support that it's held on, and then all the supports fold in afterwards, flat. So you'll do half one side, half the other side. And it will fit on the back of the trailer. So it's a little bit of a jigsaw, to be fair. I don't tell you it's not, because it is. See the pin come out. There are little trolley wheels that's going. And they just hook it on. Just in case you're wondering how it stays up and doesn't fall over, it hooks on at the end. And here's the real view how it's done. So each side's done. These little pins at the top here, that's what hooks off. And once they hook them out, you can see they're still on the ones in the background. Literally fold the cage in, lift it up, a little pole it hooks onto. So then half will come this end of the truck, just here, and then half will go the other end of the truck. And that's the ride packed away, Kurt. That's it. And one thing we will say as well, because we're taught huge communication at work, The communication is epic, absolutely epic. I don't know whether or not they hire any new people, whether they've got sort of people that do this all the time. I mean, there's obviously going to be people that do this all the time. We recognise them. I don't know whether they bring anyone else on board to help. But the way it just sort of folds away. Floor base fold up. As we said, they can get it up and down in a few hours. A couple of people, a few hours. I've always wondered how difficult it is. It's a lot of manual work, definitely a lot of manual work.
But it's coming down quickly.
But they're getting these bits in quickly. My guess is there's pins on the inside bit, and they'll help fold in as well. See how freely it moves. Of course, all the electrics here go through to the central point. This one's got some nice headrests as well. We like a good headrest, Kurt. While they pull that down a bit more, all the cars are now on the Dodgems. Cars are on, Cut.
Yep.
They've taken half the, probably just under half, maybe it's half the roof down. Pulled the support poles down this end. Exactly the same the other end. I wouldn't mind betting that that's probably the one that takes the longest to do.
Yeah, it seems like.
That's certainly what it looks like.
The twister certainly didn't take long.
The twister wasn't long at all to get it back on here.
And the cage is going down reasonably quick. So it's a ski jump.
And here is the twister, the grass cutter twister. As you can see, it all just sort of folds in. All the barriers go on the back, all the supports rest in the middle, and it's all chained together. That's a beautiful one as well. Shame we didn't get to ride it today, but we will ride it, and we have ridden it. We will ride it again, Kurt. We will ride it again.
Yep.
Coming round now to the last panel. Doesn't it look strange like this?
Yeah, it does.
When you see these rides up and running, I wonder how many people actually think that visit the fairs. How does it get here? You know, I think most people know it appears on trucks. And you may not have known with the twister actually so much, because obviously they take the wheels off. They use the hydraulics, lift it up, and the wheels clip on at each end. So they take those off. So that is actually flat to the ground. It doesn't stay on the lorry. It doesn't stay on the truck so much. And you can obviously see the trucks, although you can't see the trucks, saying that very much for the ski jump, but you can generally see the trucks. But how much appreciation goes into just how long this takes, and the work that goes into it. So clever. So clever. See the pins come out? And there it is. And there we go, it fits on the truck. Just like that.
You wouldn't think it when it's out.
No, I mean obviously these bits detach, they'll go on as well, but that's the cage. That is the cage on the truck. Just like that. Of course they've got little supports. Look at that, that is custom built support. Look. Custom built support to go in there and hook that together. That is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I love that. A few clips at the bottom, keeps it in position. There you go, cage. Apart from the pay box, ready to go. Now over on the ski jump, the earth shaker, this has its own crane, so they set up a little crane, look, and you can see they come across after taking all the cars off. As we said, that car stays on there with the barriers, as that's the one that kind of lines up with the back end of the truck. And you can see the bit of the truck a bit better now, because you can see the wheels underneath, which you may not spot from the outside once the ride's sort of running. And you'll see that these bolts come undone. It's a little bit more manual, this one, Kurt, in fairness, where the rest of them sort of slide and push.
And the dodgems still work.
Well, and the dodgems, yeah, in fairness, and the dodgems. You've got to know these rides inside out, absolute inside out. So move it up to the top, put a little barrier on the end to make sure it doesn't fall off, because we don't, you know, you wouldn't want that, would you? The clips come out. It's all very manual. As the bolts come off, you'll see the crane come round. Now I imagine these things are proper heavy. Proper heavy. As you can see, hooks underneath, gets ready while they take the bolts out. There you go, hook it into position. On comes the crane. There we go, look, the whole thing comes off. And it's in, just like that. And there's what, 10 arms to do? Oh, 10 arms to do on that. So the smaller rides over here, they all get folded up. They're on their own little trailer. They never really come off the trailer. You can see them being loaded on now. These ones will just go as if, Kurt, as if. See the ski jump there. You'll have seen some footage of the ski jump from around the other side. I love it. A lot of manual work goes into the ski jump. There's a lot of manual work that goes into the dodgems. So what we're going to do, we're going to take one last look around the fair. You know, we've shown you the twister going down, we've shown you mainly the dodgems going down, we've shown you the ski jump going down, and we've shown you the cage going down. We'll take one more final shot from the top. We're sticking to this side because they are quite busy, as you can see in the middle, getting it all down. And you can see now how easy this bit comes apart, and you can see it just stores all underneath the ride cut. And we'll get some more shots for you as we come around here. But it's been great to see, isn't it? Yeah. Something a little bit different for you here on the channel, rather than just coming, you know, to the fair. We thought we would come final day, and check it out and check it, you know, some of the manual work that goes into it whilst I'm off, to be honest, because usually I'm at work. Can't lie to you. Usually I'm at work when these things go up. But you can see a lot of work now is done on this since we were last here. All the roofing bits have come down, the beams have come off. They've got to get those heavy metal bits down. I imagine that's going to be a mission and a half. So final shot of the Dodgems there coming down. Big up to those guys, I tell you, because that's a massive manual job, that one. That's a massive manual job. And they're going to get up there now and take that down. Juvenile rides, these will also just fold in when they get round to it. We know the bungees sort of fold in. You see them quite regularly. You can see some of the smaller attractions going on the trucks down there. And of course over here, I can't not get another close-up of the Twister. What a beautiful machine, a beautiful machine, really is. As we come back around this side, you'll have seen us take some footage of the cage coming down. So we saw it all being folded up, we saw it all coming out and you know, being put together. All the barriers have come off the side, they tuck in underneath here in the cupboard, with the rest of it folding up. And then of course the ski jump ride, you can see them removing the arms on there. So all the arms will come off with that one then lining up at the end, and they lay in the bottom part on the kind of the front end of the trailer. But what a job that is, what a job. And that's it, Kurt. Yeah. That's it. So it's taken about 45 minutes to an hour to get to this point. Obviously they got to pack it all up and get everything away. But that's where we are, that's where we are. We wanted to come down, you know, show you some of the hard work they put into getting these fairs back out. It's great to see Burnett back on the road. We'll get one final shot of this one going over. Don't get me rude not to. It's great to see Burnett's back out on the road, and they'll be out now for the rest of the year. We've seen them before, haven't we, Kurt, in many places. Don't know whether Eastleigh Festival will be on this year. That'll be interesting to see whether that's on. They're usually part of Eastleigh Festival in the summer. It's the end of August, I think it was the end of August. And down that goes, and then we'll have a quick look around this side as well. Definitely a bit more manual, this one, with all the tracks to come up and all the cars. Thank you for joining us here from Horndean, Burnett's Fun Fair. But we thought we'd give you something a little bit different, as it's the start of the season. Something a little bit different. Hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe. My name's Adam. Thank you for joining us here on UK Theme Parks, and we'll see you soon.